When I was a child, I lived with my grandpa Leo and my younger sister, Maya. We stayed in a small house in the city. It was not large, but it felt like our place. Grandpa Leo looked after us. He made our meals. He told us bedtime stories. He cared for us a lot. With him, I felt protected. I felt joyful. Every morning, Maya and I got ready for school. Grandpa Leo woke us up early. He prepared our breakfast. We sat together and ate. He always smiled. "Eat well, be strong," he said. After breakfast, Maya and I walked to school. Grandpa Leo stood at the door. He waved at us. He kept watching until we were far down the street. After school, we played at the park. Sometimes we ran around. Sometimes we rested under a tree. We shared our dreams. Maya wished to become a doctor. I wanted to become a pilot. We laughed and made big dreams. When the sun started to set, we went home. Grandpa Leo waited for us. He made warm meals. We ate and talked. Life felt easy. Life felt happy. But one morning, everything was different. I woke up early. The house was silent. Too silent. I went to the kitchen. Grandpa Leo was not there. The stove was cold. There was no breakfast. My heart felt strange. I walked to his room. The door was open. I looked inside. Grandpa Leo was lying in bed. He was awake, but he did not move. His face looked pale. His hands looked weak. I called his name. "Grandpa Leo." My voice was small. He slowly opened his eyes. He tried to smile. "I am fine," he said, but I knew he was not fine. He looked tired. His voice was weak. I felt scared. Maya walked into the room. She looked at Grandpa Leo. Her eyes grew wide. She held my hand. "What happened?" she asked. I had no answer. I did not want to frighten her, but I felt frightened. Grandpa Leo was old. He was not well. He needed care. But we had no one else. It was only us. I ran to our neighbor's house. I knocked quickly. "Please help," I said. Our neighbor, Mrs. Evans, opened the door. She saw my face. She knew something was wrong. She hurried with me to our house. She looked at Grandpa Leo. "He needs a doctor," she said. Her voice was firm. She picked up her phone and called an ambulance. The doctors arrived quickly. They lifted Grandpa Leo onto a stretcher. They took him to the hospital. Maya and I watched them go. Our hearts felt heavy. The house felt empty now. It was silent, too silent. I sat on the sofa. Maya sat beside me. She said nothing. I said nothing. We only waited and waited. The hospital was large and cold. Maya and I sat in the waiting area. The chairs were hard. The lights were bright. People walked by us. Some looked worried. Some looked tired. A nurse came to us. "Stay here," she said. Then she walked away. We waited. The clock on the wall ticked slowly. I held Maya's hand. She did not speak. She only stared at the floor. I wanted to be brave for her, but inside I felt small. After a long time, a doctor came. He had a gentle face. He sat with us. "Your grandfather is sick. He is very weak. He needs rest." I nodded. "Can we see him?" I asked. The doctor gave a small smile. "Yes, but only for a little while." He stood up. "Come with me." Maya and I walked down a long hallway. The air smelled like medicine. We reached a room. The doctor opened the door. Grandpa Leo was on the bed. A tube was in his arm. His eyes were closed. My chest felt tight. He looked so small. Maya rushed to him. "Grandpa Leo," she said. He slowly opened his eyes.
He smiled. "My little ones," he whispered. His voice was soft. I sat near him. "You scared us," I said. He laughed softly, then coughed. "I am fine," he said. "Just tired." He looked at us with loving eyes. "You must be brave," he said. "Take care of each other." His words felt heavy. I did not want to imagine life without him. A nurse entered the room. "He needs rest," she said. Maya hugged Grandpa Leo. I held his hand for a moment, then we left. The walk home was silent. The sky was dark. The streets were empty. Maya held my hand tightly. "What will happen now?" she asked. I did not know. I only held her hand tighter. I knew one thing: life was going to change. The house did not feel the same without Grandpa Leo. It was silent, but not in a good way. It felt empty. Maya and I sat at the table. There was no warm meal. There was no laughter. I missed Grandpa Leo's voice. I missed his stories. Maya rested her head on the table. "When will he come home?" she asked. I did not know. "Soon," I said, but I wasn't sure.
The next morning, I woke up early again. I went into the kitchen. I tried to make breakfast for us. The eggs burned on the pan. The bread became too hard to chew. Maya sat at the table and watched me quietly. She did not say a single word. She only took a small bite of the food. "It doesn't taste like Grandfather Leo's," she whispered. I knew she was right. Nothing felt normal anymore. After breakfast, we walked to school. The walk felt long. Many people filled the streets, but I still felt lonely. At school, I could not pay attention. The teacher spoke, but her words did not reach my mind. My thoughts were still at the hospital. I wanted to see Grandfather Leo again. I wanted to know if he was getting stronger. At lunchtime, Maya sat with me. She moved her food around. "I'm not hungry," she said quietly. I understood her. I did not feel hungry either. When school finished, we walked home together. The sun felt warm on our faces, but inside my chest, everything felt cold. I stopped at the door of our house. I did not want to enter. The house felt heavy and sad. But Maya was tired. She needed sleep. We went inside. I tried to smile for her. "Let's start our homework," I said. She nodded softly. We sat down, but I could not concentrate. My mind stayed with Grandfather Leo. That evening, the phone rang. I ran fast to answer it. It was someone from the hospital. A nurse spoke gently. "Your grandfather is stable," she said, "but he needs to stay here longer." My heart felt heavy. I wanted him home. I wanted everything to go back to the way it was, but I knew it could not happen. "Can we visit him?" I asked. She said yes. I felt a little calmer. The next morning, we went to see him again. He looked tired, but he smiled when we walked in. "How are my little ones doing?" he asked. Maya hugged him tightly. I sat beside him. "We miss you," I said. He placed his hand on mine. "I miss you too." He looked at me with serious eyes. "You must stay strong," he said. "Take care of Maya." His words touched my heart. I knew he meant something important. When we left the hospital, the sun was going down. The sky looked orange and pink. Maya held my hand. "I wish Grandfather Leo could come home," she said. I nodded slowly. "Me too," I said. But deep inside, I felt we needed to prepare ourselves. Life was changing. Days went by, but he still did not come home. After school, Maya and I visited him. He was weak, but he always smiled at us. "Are you eating properly?" he asked. I nodded again, but it wasn't true. The food I cooked never tasted good.
Maya ate only a little. Grandfather Leo sighed softly. "You must take care of yourselves," he said. His voice was quiet but strong. One evening I came home feeling tired. Maya sat silently on the sofa, hugging her knees. "I don't like this," she said. "I want Grandfather Leo back." I sat beside her. "I want him back too," I said. "But we have to wait." She looked at me with sad eyes. "What if he never comes home?" she whispered. I had no answer. I held her hand tightly. That night, I lay awake thinking about our future. Grandfather Leo was sick. He could not work anymore. We had no money coming in. We needed food. We needed school supplies. I felt afraid. How would we manage things alone? I looked at Maya sleeping. She was small and innocent. I knew I had to be strong. I had to make a plan. The next morning, I woke with a decision. After school, I would search for a job. I told Maya about it. She looked worried. "But you're only a boy. Who will give you work?" I didn't know, but I had to try. "I will find something," I said. After school, I walked through busy streets. I looked at shops and small restaurants. Everyone seemed busy. I saw a bakery. The smell of warm bread filled the air. I stepped inside. A man stood behind the counter. He looked tired and busy. I took a deep breath. "Excuse me," I said. "Do you need any help here?" He looked at me closely. "How old are you?" he asked. 12, I answered. He shook his head. "You're too young," he said. My heart felt heavy. I walked to another place. It was a small grocery shop. A woman was stacking vegetables. I asked her the same question. She looked at me for a moment. Then she sighed. "I can't pay you much, but you can help with cleaning." My heart felt hopeful. "I will do it," I said quickly. She handed me a broom. She said, "Start now." That night, I came home tired but proud. Maya looked at me with wide eyes. "Did you find work?" she asked. I nodded and smiled. "Yes," I said. "It's not a big job, but it's a beginning." She hugged me tightly. I felt strong inside. For the first time, I believed we could survive on our own.
The following day, I went to work again. The small grocery shop was busy with people. The lady showed me what to do. I swept the dirty floor. I wiped the wooden shelves. I lifted heavy boxes filled with fruits and vegetables. My arms felt sore, but I kept going. I wanted to give my best. At the end of the day, she handed me a few coins. "Well done," she said with a gentle smile. I smiled back. It was little, but it mattered. When I reached home, Maya stood by the door. "Are you really tired?" she asked quietly. I nodded, but I smiled. "It's okay," I said. "We will manage." She looked at the coins in my palm. "Can we get food?" she asked. "Yes," I said. We walked to the market. We brought warm bread, cold milk, sweet fruit, and a small piece of cheese. It felt nice to buy things with money I earned. The following morning, I woke up early. I prepared breakfast. It was simple, but Maya finished it all. "It tastes better now," she said with a smile. I laughed. "I'm improving," I said. After eating, we walked to school. I felt changed. I felt more grown up. I had work now. I was not only a boy, I was someone who could support. At school, I tried to pay attention, but my thoughts were at the store. I wanted to improve. I wanted to earn more. When the last bell rang, I hurried to the shop. The lady was there. "You work very well," she said. "Would you like to come every day?" I nodded fast. "Yes, please," I replied. She smiled. "Come after your classes," she said. My heart felt happy.
This job was small, but it was a beginning. That evening, Maya and I sat at the table. We had our meal together. The house was still quiet, but it did not seem so lonely. "You are doing very well," Maya said. Her voice was calm. I looked at her. She was smiling. I felt proud. I was no longer scared. Life had changed, but we were learning. We were becoming stronger. Later that night, I sat near the window. The sky was dark and the stars were shining. I thought about Grandfather Leo. I missed him. I wished he would return, but I knew I needed patience. I shut my eyes. Tomorrow would be a new day, a new chance, and I was ready. The next morning, I woke up early again. I cleaned the kitchen. I made breakfast. I helped Maya get ready for school. I was tired, but I also felt proud. We were not only waiting for help now, we were doing something. We were caring for ourselves, and that made me feel strong. After school, I worked again. The lady at the store observed me closely. "You are very careful," she said. "If you keep trying hard, I will give you extra work." I nodded happily. "Thank you," I said. I wanted to do more. I wished to earn more. I wanted to make life better for Maya and me. The next day, I went back to the store. The grocery shop was small, but full of busy people. I swept the dusty ground. I cleaned the wooden racks. I carried heavy boxes filled with fruit and vegetables. My arms hurt, but I didn't stop. I wanted to give my best effort. At the end of the day, she gave me a few coins. "Well done," she said with a soft smile. I smiled back. It was not much, but it felt important. When I reached home, Maya stood by the door. "Are you very tired?" she asked gently. I nodded while smiling. "It's okay," I said. "We will manage." She looked at the small coins in my hand. "Can we buy more food?" she asked. "Yes," I said. We went to the market. We brought fresh bread, cold milk, sweet fruit, and a bit of cheese, and a few eggs. It felt good to pay with my own money. The next morning, I rose early. I cooked breakfast. It was simple, but Maya ate it all. "It's even better now," she said with a bright smile. I laughed. "I'm getting better," I said. After eating, we walked to school. I felt different. I felt more grown up. I had work now. I was not just a boy. I was someone who could help and protect. Later that evening, I sat beside the window. The sky was dark, and the stars were shining. I thought about Grandfather Leo. I missed him. I wished he would return, but I knew I needed patience. I shut my eyes. Tomorrow would be a new day, a new chance, and I was ready. The next morning, I rose early again. I cleaned the kitchen. I made breakfast. I helped Maya get ready for school. I was tired, but I also felt proud. We were not only waiting for help now, we were doing something. We were caring for ourselves, and that made me feel strong. After school, I worked again. The lady at the store observed me closely. "You are very careful," she said. "If you keep trying hard, I will give you extra work." I nodded happily. "Thank you," I said. I wanted to do more. I wished to earn more. I wanted to make life better for Maya and me. The following day, I went back to the store. The grocery shop was small, but full of busy people. I swept the dusty ground. I cleaned the wooden racks. I carried heavy boxes filled with fruit and vegetables. My arms hurt, but I didn't stop. I wanted to give my best effort. At the end of the day, she gave me a few coins. "Well done," she said with a bright smile. I smiled back. It was not much, but it felt important. When I reached home, Maya stood by the door. "Are you very tired?" she asked quietly. I nodded while smiling. "It's okay," I said. "We will manage." She looked at the small coins in my hand. "Can we buy more food?" she asked. "Yes," I said. We went to the market. We brought fresh bread, cold milk, sweet fruit, a bit of cheese, and a few eggs. It felt good to pay with my own money. The next morning, I rose early. I cooked breakfast. It was simple, but Maya ate it all. "It's even better now," she said with a bright smile. I laughed. "I'm getting better," I said. After eating, we walked to school. I felt different. I felt more grown up. I had work now. I was not just a boy. I was someone who could help and protect. Later that evening, I sat beside the window. The sky was dark and the stars were shining. I thought about Grandfather Leo. I missed him. I wished he would return, but I knew I needed patience. I shut my eyes. Tomorrow would be a new day, a new chance, and I was ready. 1 week later, we received happy news. The hospital said Grandfather Leo was improving. Soon he could return home. Maya and I felt so happy. We had learned to care for ourselves, but we still missed him deeply. When he came back, we told him everything. He smiled with pride. "You both have grown," he said. "I am proud of you." And for the first time in a long time, I felt truly peaceful.